It's the 200th edition of AEW Dynamite, so it should be a good one. We open the show with Chris Jericho and Konosuke Takeshita coming out for their tag match with Sammy Guevara and Danny Garcia. Garcia looks to have the match won when he has Jericho and the Dragon Slayer, but Don Callis hits Garcia with Floyd the Bat. Jericho is confused because he did not ask Callis to interfere, but covers Garcia for the scummy pin anyway. Jack Perry is here for a face-to-face with Jerry Lynn. Perry takes the mic and calls out Jerry Lynn to take his ass kicking like a man. Jerry Lynn comes out and says if he fought Jungle Boy, it'd be child abuse, and that no doctor would clear him to compete. Fortunately, he made a call to an old friend from ECW, and who comes out but Rob Van Dam. What a pop and what a moment. Perry sees RVD has spooky stoner powers and does not want to fight him. Jack comes back with a chair but misses Rob and runs into the crowd for safety. He handles a child, for God's sake. That man was scared. Up next we have a three-way anything goes match between Trent Beretta, Penta and Jon Moxley. A couple of dives from Trent and then Penta gets this banger started. Moxley introduces barbed wire because obviously he does and uses it on Trent. When Trent said he wanted to see Barbie, I do not think this is what he had in mind. Trent superplexes Moxley through two tables at ringside in a sick spot that proves that Mox is the hardest man in wrestling. Tell me something I didn't know already. Penta hits Trent with an avalanche destroyer through a table before Moxley tackles Penta through a table in the corner. Moxley introduces thumbtacks because again, obviously he does, and everyone ends up rolling around in the tacks. Penta takes a pile driver and then an X-Plex. Trent takes a cutter from Moxley. Then Moxley takes a strong zero from Trent before Penta breaks up the pin by smashing Trent with a bin. Moxley hits a paradigm shift on Penta, but Trent steals the win. After the match, Mox puts Trent in a bulldog choke as Claudio Castagnoli and Wheeler Yuta enter the arena. They're confronted by Chuck Taylor and Orange Cassidy, and the brawl is on. A lot happens here between the two teams, but in the end the best friends gain the advantage and challenge the BCC to a parking lot brawl on Rampage. MJF is here, and he's a huge babyface. MJF talks about his struggles with ADD, RSD, and the bullying and anti-Semitism he faced as a teenager. He says that is why he became a scumbag, so that he could stab others in the back before they got to him. MJF says he won't change overnight, he is still a scumbag, but he wants to be the people's scumbag. He says that Adam Cole is the reason he has turned over a new leaf and brings out his best friend. Cole says he's proud of Max and the person he is becoming. MJF reveals that he brought Adam Cole out because he wanted to give Adam Cole a world title match in the main event of All In at Wembley Stadium. MJF and Cole say they love each other and hug in the middle of the ring as the match is made official and the bromance continues. Roddy Strong has a tantrum backstage as he finally gains a shred of personality. He can now be Creator Wrestler 2 instead of Creator Wrestler 1 now if you want. The Elite are here for 6-man tag team action. Congrats to the new contracts, lads. They're against Jarrett's lads. I hate Jarrett's lads, and not in a good way. I just don't want to ever watch them again. I genuinely think that Satnam Singh is the worst wrestler I've ever seen, and I watched my fair share of bad wrestling. Hell, I watched Raw in 2009. The Hardys come out to beat up Sanjay Dutt, and honestly, he deserved it. With the ref distracted, Jeff Jarrett goes to hit Kenny with the guitar, but Hangman Page saves the day with a buckshot lariat. Kenny poses with the guitar looking scrummy as always. He hits Lethal with a one-winged angel and wins the match. After the match, the Elite cut a promo saying that they have re-signed with AEW, as I alluded to earlier, and even tease appearing on Collision. Kenny bids his adieu with his signature bang to end the segment. Aussie Open retained, but I don't get paid enough to force myself to sit through Ring of Honor matches, so I can't be bothered covering it. And Hikaru Shida won the women's title, but I don't get paid enough to force myself to sit through AEW women's matches, so I can't be bothered covering it. Thank you so much for listening to my recap and review of AEW Dynamite 200 this week. I thought it was a very good show. Please like, subscribe and comment. Let me know what you think that I can do better. And I'll see you all next time.